Hello everyone, I hope you are in a very good condition physically, mentally and not forgetting financially. My name is Daniel Al-Iman bin Rasman from Tengku Faris Petra Science School, acting as the leader of the team. This video will serve as our presentation for the Fully Residential Schools International Symposium with the title of Global Economic Consequences of the COVID-19 Pandemic under the theme COVID-19 Gains and Losses. To kick off, let me first define the terms given in the theme and title to give everyone a clear idea of what the theme and title are. Firstly, we have COVID-19 pandemic. Essentially, it means the outbreak of the coronavirus disease which has a high infection rate throughout the world. Gains and losses represent favorable and unfavorable events. Next, we have the global economy. It means the economy of the world's individual countries considered together as a single economy. Lastly, we have consequences. It means a result or effects, typically one that is unwelcome or unpleasant. Hence, contextually, the definition of our given title, Global Economic Consequences of the COVID-19 Pandemic, means the effects on the global economy that are being affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19, turmoil's to most blessing in disguise for some economic sectors. COVID-19, without a doubt, had caused many sectors of economy to go down. However, surprisingly, there are still some businesses that actually gains from this pandemic, especially this one industry in particular. Well, I'm talking about the rise of pharmaceutical industries. Pharmaceutical companies act as the center stage in fighting COVID-19. These companies are experiencing a positive growth on their stock market as the demand for the ways to prevent and cure disease are rising. To show you just how much they have actually gained, here are some pictures that indicates the increase in revenue that they gain. Here is the picture from the website Macro Trends that shows the AstraZeneca quarterly revenue. To show you how much they gain, let us look at the revenue in the time span of 6 months in 2021 compared to the last 6 months of 2020. During the first 6 months of 2021, the revenue of AstraZeneca is $15,540 million compared to $13,988 million during the last 6 months of 2020. Well, for Pfizer, this picture from the website Statista clearly indicates a huge growth in revenue compared to the recent years, as a large margin of revenue gain in 2021 came from their COVID-19 vaccine. Well, this certainly shows just how much the pharmaceutical companies gains from the pandemic. We even conducted a survey and interview to prove that.
Next, we are going to be discussing about the negative consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic towards the economy. The first negative consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic towards the tourism sector is that the unemployment is on the rise. This can be proven by the statement from Asra Awani that the unemployment rate in Malaysia has increased in May 2021 to more than 728,000 people, which is equivalent to 4.5%. To strengthen the first point, according to the Investopedia, unemployment leads to higher payments from states and governments for employment benefits, food assistance and Medicaid. For instance, also in July 2020, payment from states and federal governments of the United States of America for unemployment benefits totaled to $18.26 billion. People with jobs like pilot, air hostess and tourist agency staff are the most affected ones as they are working in tourism industry. Next, the global tourism industry is crumbling. The data right here from the World Tourism Organization shows the percentage of international tourist arrivals to 5 categories of country, which are America, Europe, Africa, Middle East, along with Asia and Pacific on January until October 2020, that has shown a huge drop compared to the 2019, which is 70%. Countries that are most reliant on tourism like Maldives, British Virgin Islands and Macau are suffering twice than the developed countries such as America and Belgium. On the local side, Malaysia alone has registered the decreasing of international tourist arrivals, which is 83.4% between 2019 until 2020. The huge gap between those 2 years in arrival of tourists has caused a massive loss towards the tourism sectors, like travel agencies, hotels and a lot more.
In order to support and gather information and data to solve our issue, a survey had to be carried out. Therefore, we used mixed research methodology to complete our survey. The methods are quantitative and qualitative methods. For the quantitative method, we provided questionnaires through Google Form, while for the qualitative method, we interviewed 4 people of the related industry. 3 of them were the owners of their respective travel agency company. The remaining 1% was from pharmaceutical industry who owns a pharmacy named Medica Pharmacy. For the first method, which is qualitative method, we had interviewed 3 people from travel agencies and a pharmacist. The pharmacist owns a pharmacy named Medica Pharmacy in Kota Baru, Kelantan. Her name is Madam Razaida binti Muhammad Yunus. From the interview, we knew that the pharmaceutical industry gains a lot from the economic occurrence since March 2020. Her profit has increased with a large margin. She was confident to say that she did not get any loss during this pandemic. The sales of health appliances, for instance, face masks, sanitizers, and oximeters are increasing daily. She could conclude that the pharmaceutical industry is thriving well during this COVID-19 pandemic. Next, we interviewed 3 people from different travel agencies. They are all the owners of their respective travel agencies. They are Miss Asmeda binti Muhammad, the owner of Umi Vacation, Kuala Lumpur, Datuk Ben, the owner of Jutawan Tours and Santai Cafe, Perth, Australia, and Mr. Saiful Bahari bin Datuk Saidin, the owner of Kosas Travel and Tours, Selangor. From the data that we collected by those 3 owners, we can conclude that all travel agencies have been going through a hard time during this pandemic. They are badly affected by this COVID-19 pandemic. They also said that most of them, the travel agencies owners all around in Malaysia, had to think of a new business to do during the lockdown. They added that all of the staffs are also badly affected financially as they could not get a full salary as before. They dared to say that their income has completely plummeted to zero. Hence, they are still striving and hoping that travel businesses will be reopened soon as they need to survive. Up till now, they are still relying on side income and the government's help. The second method is the quantitative method. We created a set of questionnaires in the Google form and shared the link to 100 respondents in random. The age range of our target respondents are 25 years old above. As you can see on the screen right now, these are their details, which were their occupations and age. From the data collected, majority 67% of the respondents are working with the government, followed by non-government workers 21% and many more. These questionnaires covered all of the aspects that we have stated in our abstract, which are the focus of our research. They are about the vaccinations, tourism industry, public responsibility, and how to revive the economy. We can conclude that our respondents have a high level of awareness on this COVID-19 pandemic, as 79% vote for scale of 4 to 5 to the question. However, some of them commented that there are still people who don't follow the SOP, and some said that many who followed the SOP just because the authority are around and they want to avoid from being fined. 63% agree that tourism industry is the most affected and the slowest to recover due to this pandemic. Furthermore, 72% believe that the vaccinations program is the best to overcome the infection of the virus and live like usual as before. 80% of our respondents suggest that the economic sector need to be running as well with more stricter SOP. This is the only way to increase our country's economy.
In order to overcome the issues and consequences of the pandemic, also to revive the economy of our country as well as global economy, we Faris team has come up with 3 suggestions of drastic measures, as we believe desperate situation requires drastic measures. First and foremost, the government should make the vaccination compulsory, which means every citizen that is eligible according to the requirements to receive the vaccine must take it whether they like it or not. That is because we need to think of greater disaster that the non-vaccinated group of people could bring to our country's economy and many other aspects if the chain of infections is still not broken. The main purpose of mandating the vaccination is to create herd immunity. Vaccinated people are protected from getting the disease, passing on the pathogen, breaking any chains of transmission, and also protecting those who are ineligible to be vaccinated. This way can increase the level of confidence among public to go out or travel, as well as keeping the economic activities running. Next, travel bubble or travel bridges is good news for international and local tourism agencies and also for those who love travel. Certainly, stringent prevention and procedures will be implemented to reduce the importing of COVID-19. However, how can we restore the confidence in the people to go out or travel after almost 2 years being in the pandemic, with thousands of cases and many deaths reported daily? Our last suggestion will help answering this question. Hence, our last suggestion is the government and all related parties need to increase the public awareness of the consequences of the pandemic and also importance of following standard operation procedure SOP. In order to achieve that, we need to ensure the public to strictly follow the SOP, and we have a specific suggestion to the government, which is the formation of Special Pandemic Patrol, where the government announces that Special Pandemic Patrol with its special badge and uniform assigned at all specific public places, people will be more confident to go out as they know that everything is under control and the risk of infection will be much lower than before. Therefore, the economic industries can continue to operate again with new norms and SOP, and later, our economy of various sectors will be revived.
Finally, we strongly believe that drastic measures needed now, starting with vaccination, must be made compulsory, travel bubble should be implemented, and public responsibility awareness should be drastically increased with the role of Special Pandemic Patrol Unit. Being loyal citizens with public and moral responsibility, we should play significant roles as countermeasures to fight and overcome this threat. Understanding that the pandemic now has become endemic, we need to learn to live with the virus, but do not let it overtake and overrule our lives forever. We must remember that each and every one of us play a vital role in curbing the pandemic. Do not falter and keep your heads up for each coming day. We must believe in the efforts that had and will be done by the government are aimed to make the global economy to revive and prosper once more. That's all from us. Take care and stay safe, everyone.